Here's another directing tutorial.
1 year before production began on The Lady Eve, writer-director Preston Sturges sent an early draft of the script to Paramount producer Albert Lewin. Lewin told Sturges, in spite of the high quality of the jokes, the first two-thirds of the script required complete 100% rewrites. Sturges objected. He said, if it's funny, it should stay. And eventually, Sturges won that argument. According to Barbara Stanwyck, a Preston Sturges shoot was like a carnival. His sets were open to anyone, and there were always people coming and going, and that made for a rowdy and chaotic atmosphere on set. The stars, though, they loved that, because instead of going to their dressing rooms between setups, the actors sat in chairs and chatted with each other and with Sturges. He'd ask the actors how they liked their lines, and if they didn't like them, they'd tell him so. Sturges would then call the screenwriter an imbecile, and he'd change the lines. Of course, Sturges was the screenwriter. Up next, more lady con artists. Joan Blondell and James Cagney star in a 1931 Pre-Code film from Warner Brothers.
And another tutorial about Howard Hawks.
I'd already known Howard Hawks a few years when I went down to Arizona to watch the legendary director shoot some scenes for El Dorado. And I'd never seen a director so laid back, but so clearly in total control. You couldn't help but notice his confidence, and the rapport he had with the stars, and the respect they had for him. And I realized that Hawks himself was like a character in one of his own movies, the ultimate professional.
I'd say I'm on your side, and this is no job for amateurs.
Say, I'm the best fisherman in the whole Pacific Ocean.
You take chances, Marlowe. I get paid to.
Hawks built his career on stories of professional men relying on their skill and inner strength in crisis situations. As Hawks himself used to say, for him, the best drama was the one that dealt with a man in danger. Former race car driver and airplane pilot, Hawks established himself early as a master of action. In his first talking picture, The Dawn Patrol, he actually flew the plane in a rare cameo. This classic scene summed up a theme that would continue through his films for 40 years. Respect among professionals, even enemies. Often he made his women just as strong as the men. In 1944, he introduced the world to a 19-year-old woman named Lauren Bacall.
Anybody got a match?
She and Humphrey Bogart personified the Hawks couple. They were even modeled after Hawks and his wife Nancy, who called each other Slim and Steve as nicknames. And Hawks told Bogart, "You're about the most insolent man there is on the screen, and I'm going to make this girl even more insolent than you are."
You know you don't have to act with me, Steve. You don't have to say anything, and you don't have to do anything. Not a thing. Oh, maybe just whistle. You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You just put your lips together and blow.
And Hawks used that electricity again in his next picture, The Big Sleep. In classic Hawks fashion, it's not until Bogart compliments Bacall as a professional that you realize he actually loves her.
You look good. Awful good. Now they made him like that anymore.
I guess I'm in love with
As a director, he liked to keep things simple. He was a master craftsman who never allowed any self-conscious style get in the way of a powerful image. One of Hawks' greatest skills was being able to create a scene on the spot. In Tiger Shark, Hawks explained the story and character to Edward G. Robinson, and together they improvised the dialogue.
See that fella out there? They settle things. They took my hand and give me this. They took your father and give me you.
Hatari was nearly all improvised.
All right, move in a little closer.
Howard said to me, "You know, you can't just sit in an office and write down what a rhino's gonna do." And all those scenes were the real thing. Sergeant York with Gary Cooper was the only picture that earned Hawks an Oscar nomination. He told me it didn't bother him because he really didn't think much of a lot of the pictures that won Academy Awards. He just wanted to make good pictures, ones that didn't annoy the audience, as he put it, ones that he would like to watch. I've always remembered what Howard told me on the set of El Dorado. He said, "An audience doesn't know the geography of a place unless you show it to them. It can be anything you want it to be. In other words, a movie is the world you make it." And Howard Hawks always made his worlds his way. As the ultimate professional, it wasn't whether the goal was achieved that mattered, but rather in how well it was sought. This is Peter Bogdanovich for Turner Classic Movies.